Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel today, and we're doing things a little bit differently because I am going to be doing this slight voice recording. And so I thought we'd just see how it goes, see how we like it, see how I like it, if it's any easier or not, but we'll figure that out as we go. So getting straight into this is the look that we're going for today, which what I was getting while I was creating it was kind of like the easy version of like the Insta Baddie look. And within the video I tried like two sort of trends I guess that I saw on TikTok, which I'll let you know as they come up. But at this point, getting straight into it, I'm using my normal designer brands favorites that I always like to use, which is the Moisturising Primer and the Velvet Matte Foundation. So obviously just putting the primer all over. I did just have a freshly washed face as well as a freshly moisturized face, so it would work out a lot better. And then now we're just applying the foundation on with just a flat paddle brush, or foundation paddle brush I guess, all over the face, and then blending that all through. So with this new voice recording, I don't think I'm going to be talking throughout the whole video, but I thought I'd just give it a try starting out, and then we'll see how we go, of course, especially with like my new setup that I've got and everything, that we just want to see how things work out. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna hold fast and see how we go. Now I'm just going over that foundation that I just put down with a beauty blender, not the actual one, because I wanted to get rid of any brush streaks I had. And this was just a new concealer. It was a Juvia's Place concealer that my brother gave me because he didn't really like it, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm just doing the usual spots at the inner corners as well as the outer edge of the eye to give it a little eye lift, and on top of the eyelid so I can prep it for eyeshadow. And at the moment I'm just using, it's technically a contour brush, but I like the way that this brush actually helps to blend out the product quite a lot. Sorry, you just hear in the background is my partner and our daughter that he's just nursing, trying to put her to sleep, because I kind of filmed this really late at night just so I could get it done. But yeah, so just continue to blend that concealer through. I did notice that, like, obviously as you can see, it is a really good concealer. Like, it covered everything and then some. So next time I use it, I'm going to use a lot less, and that's why I've got the sponge here again, because I'm trying to absorb up the excess product that's there. And now this is the MAC Studio Fix pressed powder that I'm using to set my entire face, including the under eyes, because I didn't necessarily want to make the under eyes any brighter than what they already were. So I'm going through and using a big fluffy brush to blend that all through, and to not just blend it, it's actually to set my whole face, because I wanted to see how this would go with me using my designer brand's matte foundation, and seeing how the finish would last and how it would look at the end. This is the Maybelline Master Contour Palette, which I'm not sure if they actually still do it, so if not, I'll link a similar one. Otherwise, I do always link everything below. So going in with that contour shade, just chiseling out those cheekbones as I would always. However you do it is also fine. I'm just using for that an angled more like a bronzer brush, but I do like to sort of use that for concealer because I don't really have a super specific way that I do it. It's just where I feel most comfortable. And then I have grabbed that same contour shade from that palette, using it to kind of contour my nose. I wanted to try this as well because I have never really done proper nose contouring, but I thought I'd just give it a shot. So yeah, going in, I'm not sure if I just said, but with a fluffy like eyeshadow blending brush, because I didn't want to go too overboard, but give it a go anyway. And now I'm using my Nars palette. I don't remember off the top of my head what this one's called, but I'm going with those two pink shades. I've tried to use this palette before and I didn't necessarily have too much luck with it, so I just wanted to give it another go before I gave up. And I was very surprised. It turns out the brushes that I was trying to use with it the first few times were not the right brushes. So I have this particular brush. It's like a dense, rounded Real Techniques brush that I use to apply the blush with, and I actually quite like how it turned out. This is a Nude by Nature bronzer that I'm now using. I've had this one for a while as well, and I never really actually got around to using it. So I'm going with that same contour brush and just applying it where I usually like to have bronzer. So that's on my cheeks, on my forehead, a little bit down the either side of my nose, even like slightly running it through the brows, and a little bit face framing so it doesn't look super harsh, as in I've only gotten bronzed at the top half of my face. And then now this is where I'm using the contour shade on my eyes, on my eyeshadow, because I wanted to, as I said at the start, I wanted to try and create some sort of simple but really pretty eyeshadow look without using lots of colors and lots of different eyeshadow palettes and, you know, all the hard stuff. So I'm using literally the exact same contour shade, the one that I used on my cheeks, the one that I used to contour my nose. I'm using that and I'm blending it in the ideal shape that I wanted to go for on my eyes, which is more of a rounded shape instead of like an elongated cat eye, which is very popular right now. So I went more of the rounded shape, and just extremely well blending that. As you just saw, trying to get rid of excess concealer that I still had under the under eyes, and now bringing that same eyeshadow down onto that lower lash line, blending it through that lash line, as well as bringing it back up to the outer corner so it connects that eyeshadow right back up to that top shadow again. So there's no disconnect, so it doesn't look, you know, sparse or uneven in any way. Now, NYX Glitter Primer. I thought this would be perfect to use because, one, a little goes a long way, and then two, the shadow I'm going to be using, which is not a shadow, it's a highlight, I thought it would make it look more like a sort of shimmer on the eyelid, and I was right. So again, I'm using my contour palette and I'm using the highlight shade with that same brush that I used to apply that glitter primer, and I'm really pressing that highlight onto the eye, so it then gives that sort of holographic, I think that's what it's called, the eye look. But yeah, so that's sort of like, in a way, holographic, or is it's something else, but to add that shimmer onto the eye, make it really pop, so it wasn't just a standard like highlight. Obviously going in with that original blending brush just to sort of soften out the edges so there's no harsh lines. Inner corner highlight, as usual, what you'd normally do. And then now it is my brow time. I'm not going to go into depth with this because I have got a how I do my eyebrow tutorial, but you're going to see pop up right now at the top of the right of the screen is a link to go to my eyebrow tutorial in case you want to watch it. Otherwise, just keep watching through. At that point, I just decided to add some of the, again, same highlight to the cheekbones, the nose, the lips, and even in that brow bone area under the eyebrow. And that is, again, for cohesiveness, and it just looks really nice. So now I'm just showing you that I'm using my Ardell Wispy lashes, and I put them on off camera because it was just a bit quicker and easier. So that lip liner I just used was the Colourpop shade called BFF, and this is where I'm using a TikTok thing where you press your lips together and then you line just outside of your lip line, and it sort of gives you a slightly more rounded and fuller effect on your lips. Not sure if I 100% like it yet, but I wanted to try it out for the video. Now, lipstick time. I use the Colourpop lipstick in the shade Cookie. It says it's a matte shade, but it is a slightly like more creamy matte. I just coloured that in, or filled in the rest of the area, and it was very well matched with each other. Now, another TikTok thing I saw, another makeup artist recommended curling your eyelashes, and it makes a difference to your eyelashes, which I did notice a slight difference. Curled up a little bit, it sort of like looks a little bit nicer when you open your eyes, but it doesn't make too big of a difference. And of course, this right now is the entire and final look as you saw at the start. I just thought it was super easy, super fun, especially because you can just use your contour or bronzing shades that you already have and the highlight shades that you already have. Super fun and easy. Alright, on that note, I'm going to leave you guys, and so please subscribe if you're new, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye!